Okay. All right. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 10:06 a.m. And we're going to start with a roll call to make sure everyone's here. So Jonathan.
Here.
Sophia.
Here.
Ava is not here. She's excused, right? Emily.
Here.
Zana.
Here.
Jacqueline.
Here.
Tabitha.
Here.
Jericho.
Here.
Amy.
Here.
Okay, now that we've established quorum, I'd like to first acknowledge that we are conducting business on the native land of the Hahamanga tribe of the Tongva Nation, and we're going to offer a moment of silence for those who have come before us. Okay, now we're going to move on to the approval of today's agenda. Can I get a motion? Someone can say so moved.
So moved.
Okay, now I need a second.
I second that.
Okay, I think I saw Jericho, but I'm just going to say Sophia seconds, and it was motion. Okay, motion by Tabitha. Okay, now we're going to move on to discussion. Is there anything that would like to be? Okay, hearing none, vote. If no one is opposed to today's agenda, we will approve it. Okay, hearing none, the motion passes. On to the approval of last Monday's agenda. So, can I get I'd like to entertain a motion of approving the minutes for last Monday.
So moved.
Okay, can I get a second? Anyone can second.
I second that.
All right, seconded by Sophia. All right, is there anything that would like to be you'd like to be edited or changed for the last Monday's meeting? All right, if there's nothing, we're gonna move to a opposition vote. No one's opposed to approving last Monday's minutes. We are going to approve it. All right, hearing none, last Monday's agenda minutes are approved. Passes with unanimous consent. Public comment on non-agenda items. Is there any members of the public in here?
Can I comment as a member of the public?
No, I don't think so. Oh no, yeah, my internet's unstable. This is so sad. All right. All right, we're gonna reports. We're gonna go through roll call. Jonathan, is there anything I'd like to report?
Yeah, I'd like to report that your audio is really bad. And then, so I also just like, I looked over like just like kind of like figuring out how to use Trello exactly. So I've been like playing around with that. And then I've also been just like looking at like the stuff that you posted like on there. I also just like went through like the stuff that you sent in emails. But other than that, nothing.
Internet, so it's good. Okay, Sophia, is there anything you'd like to report?
No. Nope.
Okay, thank you. Emily, is there anything you'd like to report?
Yeah, I had a good nap right before this.
All right, thank you, that's good. Keep your energy up. Okay, my internet's terrible right now. Sorry, did anyone hear what I said?
Said your
Sorry.
internet's
Okay.
terrible right now.
Oh, at least you heard that. That's good. Okay. I said Zana. Is there anything you'd like to report?
No.
Okay. Jacqueline?
No.
Tabitha?
No.
Jericho?
Nothing.
Jimmy?
Nope.
All right. And that should be everything for committee reports. Jordan, is there anything you'd like to report?
Yes, there's a couple of things. I just wanted to let you all know Discord uses a lot of my battery if I keep it on. So I will be checking Discord and Trello every morning around 9 a.m. So if there's something you need me to do, just post either the night of or early that morning so I can see it when I log in. So I just want to let you all know. Secondly, is it okay if I share my screen, Philly? I just wanted to share an opportunity.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, let me stop sharing.
So I just want to let you all know the flea market scholarships are available now. The categories are leadership, community volunteerism, and entrepreneurship. You can apply at pastina.academicworks.com. They're due April 11th, which I believe is this Sunday. So for more information, you can ask me since I'm on the flea market, or you can email the flea market at pastina.edu. As your advisor to all, how many of you are there here? To all 10 of you that are here, please, please, please apply to this. It's literally free money, like literally free money. People get anywhere. I know that they lowered the amounts because, you know, the flea market really hasn't been operating. When I applied, I got up to $2,000 just because I applied and put in my resume and all that stuff. It literally is so easy and simple to do. You need two people to give you letters of recommendation. If you want me to do one, just email me and let me know. So that way I can get one started for you. And then, yeah, so it's due this Sunday. It's really easy. Go online, apply. I believe you can upload your resume and then you just put the emails of your two professors that you want, or staff members, whatever, that you need letters of rec from. And yeah, they're due on Sunday. If you have any questions, just go ahead and email me. I'll put my email in the chat, but please apply. It literally is not that hard for you to apply to get free money. So that way, if you're transferring or if you're continuing, you can apply that towards your education. So other than that, that's it. Good to see you all.
All right. Thank you for that wonderful report, Jordan. We might have to move back to committee report. I don't know how you officially do that, but how casual can we be?
That's up to you. You're fine.
Oh, okay. We're gonna move back to committee report because I know Sean wants to share the information of what transpired, but something happened, and we're gonna be introducing him now. So, Sean, you can unmute. You can introduce yourself in any way you want.
Hey, hi guys. I'm so sorry for coming in late. My cat had a little accident. But yeah, I'm a first-year psychology major. My name is Sean. I'm really excited to be working with all of you. I had a little debriefing with Philly on Friday, I believe, or was it Sunday?
Sunday, I think.
Sunday, I think. Yeah, but I'm basically caught up to speed with the Discord, the Trello, and everything. Yeah, I'm just super excited to be here and to work with all of you.
All right, thank you for introducing yourself, Sean. So Sean is going to be filling the other researcher role as well, which is good that Ava's not here, so at least he'll still be able to participate in training. So that should be everything for committee reports. I don't have anything that I really need to report right now. So we're gonna move on to action items. We don't have anything action items. So we're gonna move on to discussion items. We're gonna go to discussion item A, committee training. And basically, I'm gonna preface with organization. So when we go to the Google Drive, I wanna make sure that everyone kind of does this. Where if you have your own workspace, I'd recommend how you organize stuff is like, for example, if you're a reporter, right? You can make a folder titled interviews or features maybe. And then you could do stuff like where it's numerical. Like for example, I'd recommend doing the date and For example, I'm gonna rename it Sophia, sorry. But like do it like in this format. That way it's much more easy. So like for example, like that will keep it very organized in terms of we know what time it was. And let's say we finally uploaded it, then you could even go even further of organization and just do like finished or something and put it in there. So I just want to preface that just to like if anyone wants ideas on how they can organize their stuff, that'll be there. Then we're actually gonna move on to actual really good committee training. So basically, everyone's gonna be in breakout rooms. Jordan is actually going to be with Sean today, so they'll be in the main session. They won't have their own breakout room, because hopefully Luis can come in and we can do stuff with that. So basically, for social media, I'm gonna be doing some training with you first. As for the reporters, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room. You can just talk and do whatever until I come in. Actually, Sophia, just tell Emily a bit about what you kind of did for the interview and what went well and some interesting things about that. For the graphic designers, I'm gonna send Jimmy a link in the chat right now. Get a room, yes. All right, so Jimmy, please screen share that. It's a doc with like graphic design tutorials. So you'll just be going through that in your breakout room, and then when I come in, I'll kind of just help you with any questions. As for the public relations people, Jonathan, I want you to create a Google Doc using the workspace, the folder that you have, and you're basically just gonna be working on a list of professors that we can contact. So you can like, for example, do poli-sci professors. Just go on the Lancer Point directory. So just go on Lancer Point and then check out the staff directory there. Help Jericho if he doesn't use that. And you can use outside third-party sources that rate professors to kind of like see which professors you might want to get in contact with, like just so they're friendly, so you don't kind of like find someone who doesn't like students. So that's basically everybody. And I'm gonna start creating the breakout rooms now. So I'm gonna stop sharing while I make them. But if anyone has any questions on what they're doing in the breakout rooms, just let me know.
Philly, do you want me to go over anything specific, or are we just gonna be hanging out?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I wrote it down. But Sean, you're basically just going to be telling Jordan about what your kind of vision of your role is. And then Jordan can kind of advise on that. Like, oh, well, we could orient it towards this, for example. And so it's kind of more of like an idea session right now. And then we can move on into doing some good stuff.
Awkward.
Okay, I may have made the breakout rooms wrong. I will redo them. Yeah, someone can do some discussion if you want. I don't know. While I'm setting them up.
I have a question about the scholarship. Where do you access it? Where can you find it?
I'll put the link in there. Philly, can I send you the flyer and then you can send it out to the committee later?
Yeah, sure. Just email it.
Can I put it on Wow, I sound really old right now. Can I put it on? Can I put it on Discord or Trello?
Yes, you should. Use technology.
Which one would work better?
Oh, don't put it on Trello. Trello's not.
Okay, Discord.
Just put it on Discord.
I will put on Discord. Sorry, I don't know where these accents are coming from. Apparently, this coffee is really good today.
All right, thank you for that, Jordan. Now we're gonna open up all the rooms. So yeah, Jordan and Sean will be in here. Everyone else will be doing their own thing. Make sure, Jimmy, you're screen sharing. Make sure, Sophia, that you're talking to Emily, and Jacqueline Tampa. I'll be with you soon. Jericho and Jonathan, you work on that doc.
Philly.
What?
I love the outfit today.
The what? Oh, the outfit. It's like pineapples. I have pineapples on this. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna open up. Bye. Okay, so you guys have fun now. I'm gonna go into the breakout room.
Okay.
The Office, nice.
The Office. Yes.
Yeah, I haven't. So when it was on Netflix, I started watching the first season and I got disinterested. But then
Mhm.
everybody that's a fan of The Office was like, after the first season, it just gets way better. And I was
Yeah.
like, and then it got taken off of Netflix. And I was like,
I know. It's like
pissed.
the worst.
Okay, so hi, Sean. My name is Jordan. I'm the advisor to the Strategic Communications Committee. I work in the Office of Student Life and as well as the Flea Market Office. If you don't know that PCC has a flea market that
Mhm.
usually pre-COVID and hopefully post-COVID, we operate the first Sunday of every month, and we specifically specialize in antique and vintage items. We also have a record section, so it's kind of like pretty cool, pretty vintage. Yeah, so that's kind of what I do. I was a student at PCC in 2015. I graduated then. I was president for 2 years of Associated Students, and then before that, I was the vice president for what is now known as Student Equity, but it was cultural diversity back then. So yeah, I have quite a history with PCC and with AS, and so it's been fun. It's been kind of interesting because we're working virtually, so pretty not easy for the committee, but it's been kind of a tough time getting certain resources, but overall it's been great.
Right.
Been fun. Yeah, just a little bit about me. Okay, so why don't you tell me a little bit about what you and Philly discussed, and we can just kind of run through some ideas.
Yeah, I just did all the introduction stuff like with the Google form and I was looking at the different roles there were, and the researcher one did interest me. Um, yeah, he basically just updated me on everything, but I guess a couple ideas that I had, like the first thing that came to my mind was really I feel like it's important for this role to reach out to the other clubs, like personally, especially because of COVID. It's kind of difficult to stay connected. And I was talking about how I'm also involved in some other clubs like Active Minds, Circle K, just so it's easier for me to get more resources, just because there's more people for me to stay in contact with. But yeah, just some ideas that I had of course, or scholarships. I feel like we should really put those on blast, like what we did this morning when I came in. And other things that I was thinking about are some events and programs that relate to PCC that aren't exactly from PCC, which usually aren't that advertised. Like just a few days ago, I went to this UCLA Stomp conference, and it was just really helpful for any transfer students who want to go to the UC system. There were great resources, and they put us in contact with like our school representatives, like all of that. It was really, really, really nice. And yeah, just any resources, keeping students in the loop with everything.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I know Ava is the one that's also doing the other research, and her main goal was to find those programs specifically at PCC that are not hidden, but sort of like students don't know when they come to PCC. For example, how you can be enrolled in a class at a UC and at PCC,
Right.
you can like get credits, towards that college, which I think is really cool because I didn't know about that. I wish I did. I might have gotten my foot in the door to a couple of UCs, but I went to Cal State LA, graduated, got my bachelor's, and now I'm in my master's at CSUN. So I don't regret my educational journey at all, but if I had known about those programs, it probably would have
Right.
been better. So it's with scholarships. I think that's a really, really good idea. It's been a challenge for, so what they've done, and because I don't know if you saw, but the website to go apply for scholarships is pasadena.academicworks.com. And they've sort of insulated all of the scholarships onto that one excuse me, that one website. And so you have to go there and apply, and everything's online. And it sort of made it a little bit easier to kind of consolidate the scholarships. The issue is that a lot of these scholarships students don't know about because a lot of them are also very specific. So for example, when I was a student and it was my last year and I was graduating, I applied to the flea market scholarship, got that. I also applied to a couple of other ones because I was heavily involved in other like cultural communities, just to see in Ujima, which is the African American and Black Pathways on campus. And so I applied for that, even though I don't necessarily identify as Black. I just applied for that just to see if, you know, we're always telling students to apply, even if you don't think you qualify, because you never know. And then we also have a specific scholarship for Latinx students. We have specific scholarships for API students. So I think that would be a really good opportunity if you could see what scholarships those are. Maybe make a list specifically, because sometimes they're always changing too. And then see if we can get the word out to students, right? Because when they go on Academic Works, it can be a little bit daunting, and you're like, it's overwhelming, and you're like, I don't know what to apply for. And then you just apply for the general one, and then you're like, that's it. When sometimes a lot of these scholarships that are specific only require you to answer 2 questions. And then it's like, okay, cool, you applied for it, right? And then some of them require an extra essay, but you can kind of tweak your general essay to kind of like tailor to how that scholarship works. So I think that might be a resource you can use. So if you want, you can go on Academic Works to see which ones function, and you can click on them and see what the necessary qualifications are. So that's where I would direct you first. Another thing you could possibly do is if you want to look at scholarships that specifically tailor to other 4-year higher educational institutions. I would do my research at like the UC levels. If you want to just generally do, like, if you want to look at USC or UCLA, sometimes you can apply for scholarships when you apply for admission. And then you can maybe qualify for those, and then that helps your tuition or whatever you want to pay for. That would be another way. That's going to require a little bit more work to do. So that's going to depend on what your workload is on the daily basis, and your school as well. And your mental health as well, and sanity. You don't want to overload yourself with just like, right. And me and Philly are really big on like wellness and making sure that you're taking care of yourself. If I even sense burnout, I like immediately will stop and we'll have to just take a break and stuff like that. So just keep in mind, yeah, that's going to be a little bit more work, but the PCC side, it's pretty easy and everything's pretty accessible through Academic. So that's about scholarships. That's a great idea. I think that would be really awesome. Events and programs outside of PCC, I think that's really awesome that you want to do that, because like, again, a lot of students don't know what opportunities other colleges have. And even if you don't think you're good, like, for example, I didn't even think I was going to go to a UC, but it would have been really nice if I had known there was like an event or something that would help me, sort of help me to, I guess, tailor my, application for admission to kind of help my chances there. That would have been, that would have been great. And even some of the privates, like some of the places that people transfer to, like SC or other areas as well, would be really great. I don't know, I'm not really well versed in that. The one place I would suggest is you get in contact with the transfer center at PCC. They're the ones that bring in the other colleges to come in and sort of like give out those resources, and they might be like a first step in finding out sort of these events and programs that might help outside of PCC. I'm trying to figure out who you can get in contact with. Okay, so the person I would reach out to is Tamika Alexander. I will put her name in the chat. She is the coordinator and the head of the transfer center. So she's going to be your first sort of line of communication. And then she can probably give you some resources and or give you a person that can specifically meet the needs of this. I know that her staff is very limited, as is ours. So there might be one person that's in charge of sort of like doing this. So you might want to do that. Okay. And you can, have you explored the PCC website on how to look for staff stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. So you basically just go to the top in the search bar and then click on Tamika or type in Tamika and then click on search directory and her email will pop up. So you just go
Okay.
ahead and email her. Obviously introduce your name, introduce who you are. Don't just say, hi, I need resources. Make sure you're like, hi, my name is Sean. I'm a part of the Strategic Communication Committee of the Associated Students. I'm interested in looking at events and programs outside of PCC that may help students get a better idea of what it's like to, just whatever you want to do. That specifically has to do with transfer though. As far as other events that are happening, you might want to contact the schools specifically with I know each school usually has like a place where transfer students or new students, prospective students can go to. I forget what it's called right now. But you might be able to contact those schools or look online and see what their calendars have. And then you can definitely advertise what is going on. Again, this sounds like a lot to me. And I don't know how it sounds to you. It sounds like a lot. So what I would do is just take it one step at a time, work on one of these. If they happen to bleed over into one another, that's fine. But what I would do is like set a game plan and try to come up with how you're going to tackle these in a timely manner. Don't do this all at once. I know like you may think you can handle stuff right now, but all of us are going through a lot. And don't forget you're a student is this your first semester or second semester or?
Yeah, first year, second semester.
So, are you going to be here for like 2 years, 1 year?
Yeah, I plan to stay one more year and then I'll transfer after 2 years. Yeah.
So this may be something you might want to work on, continually throughout the year. Hopefully some of us will be back in the fall at PCC and we can get sort of we may be able to throw events that tailor to your specific needs with this. So just keep in mind that it doesn't have to stop here. Like you can keep and continue this sort of work, going on into the future. And so just like I said, take it one step at a time and see what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And then if you need any help or resources, I'm always here. Philly's here too, but he's got 1,000 other things on his plate. So, I can definitely see who I can reach out to and sort of all that stuff.
Okay.
Because I pretty much know, I don't want to say know everybody on campus, but I know all the people that are in the academics and the student services division. So if you need like specifics, I can give you, people that I can point you to for this issue, for this matter. But yeah, do you have any other, sorry, I talk a lot. So do you have any other questions? Do you have any other comments, thoughts, concerns?
Yeah, Philly brought up, I just want to say I really liked his idea about how he wanted to have like one hub where like all the resources can be there. So I thought that was really cool. And yeah, and also programs or just services as well at PCC that I recently learned about and it was through my club as well, but it was like peer counseling, especially during this time. Mental health should be talked about, and I think it's really awesome that there are services on campus for that specifically. And I didn't know about that. And there was also, I forgot the name of it, but it was like a health center where they can give free STI like testing, everything we need. And I think these things should really be advertised as well, just like health in general.
Yeah, I would talk to Ava on that because she's sort of focusing on that aspect of PCC where like, those services and things that students would normally go to. I know like when I was at PCC, the student health services would do blood panels for cheap. So if you didn't have any if you didn't have any health insurance and you're not on your parents or something like that, you could go to the student health services. I think it was like $15 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they can give you a whole blood panel, which is amazing, right? Yeah, and then you can get tested. You can get tested there. They also do, I think they do TB tests too, just to make sure that, but yeah, it's called the Student Health Services.
Yeah.
Look them up. They'll give you those resources that are there as well. And then peer counseling. Yeah. Sorry, they're looking for like I hate so my text messages come up like and then like if it's like an important person, I have to read. So I'm like, what's going on? Yeah, and then there's other services. Like I know a lot of people kind of know about this, but like the food pantry is like for food insecurity.
Right. Yeah.
We've been doing that. And that's pretty new, and they just got a new area on campus. And so, it'd be really awesome to advertise that. Um, yeah, so it sounds like there's going to be a lot of crossover with kind of what you want to do. And then there's going to be, I don't think there's going to be a shortage of work that you're going to need to do for this. The issue that we're having, and the one thing that I need to talk to Philly about, is where we want to sort of keep this hub, because I can make a specific page, or I can't make it, but I can request to have a specific page made on the AS page for us. But depending on what needs to go on that page, I'm going to need to talk to Philly, and I need to talk to the web people to see how that can get worked out. Once it's established, me and Philly can edit it. So if there's like anything that we need to add, we can put it on there. Or if we want to do like a Google Drive, like we can think about doing stuff that way, and then linking it in our social medias. Unfortunately, Google Drive doesn't really, it doesn't, what is that called? It doesn't like correlate with our website, the PCC website, and its servers. So we might have to do a specific other type of, way to do that. But yeah, so that's going to be the discussion between like you, Ava, and Philly, and me, is like, how are we going to want to organize all of these resources, right? And even if it's that like posting a Google Drive link and then having everything there, that might be a way to do that. Or if we can make a website and post like specific links to, where can you find this? It's here. Where can you find this? It's here. Instead of having to search through the PCC website, which is what students have to do now, which is very inconvenient. I think having a hub on the website would be a better option for that.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's very like, even for me, like as a staff member, like I literally will spend longer than I have to looking for a resource for students. And I'm like, if I didn't know like where it was housed or what department it was in, I would have a very difficult time like trying to find all those resources. And so I can only imagine what it's like if you're like a new student like you, and you're like, I need to know if they have homeless services or if they have a food pantry, right? Then you would scour the website and like you wouldn't know where to look. And so I think having all those resources in one area would be a good idea. And then the school will probably steal it and then say it's theirs. And then, that's how it works. But no, I think if we start it and we sort of house it on our page, I think that would be a really, really awesome idea.
Yeah. Or I was also thinking on our Instagram, or the my ASPCC Instagram, like a lot of clubs right now are doing like a link tree. Right. Yeah. So it's like they just keep their link in the bio and it's like all there. Just convenient.
Yeah, I know I've seen like a lot of people on Instagram when it's like a link tree, and then you can click on. I think that might be. Don't we have one? Do we have one?
I think so. I can double check that.
I mean, I think we do.
Yeah, I think it's like it'll just come down to the discussion of what we want to put on there.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, join our Discord, Joseph. I think what we can do is, if you want, we can add, or if we decide, we can add like a specific link to like a place where they pop up, and just there's all the looking for a specific resource, click on our resource page, and then click, and then that way when we do a post, we can just refer to the link tree, like click on the link in our website, and then click on the resource button. And then once they click on that, it goes straight to all the resources.
Right.
The question is, where are we going to do that? If that's either on a Google Drive or if that's maybe another housed website. But I think a document in a Google Drive would be better, and then we can put links in there, so that way, or we can like embed links like in text, so that way we can just kind of help them do that, just be easier. But I think that's a good idea. They're just like looking now, there's already so much on that link tree. So I'm like,
yeah.
How do we do that? Executive board. Yeah. Anyway, we can talk about that, but yeah. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, that all sounds great. All sounds doable. Yeah, it just sounds like a lot. Sorry, I've been up. I was up for. Yeah. So what do you want to major in?
Psychology.
Okay. And then where do you want to transfer to? Do you know yet or no?
I'm just gonna apply to some places and whoever takes me. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did. If you can get like when you apply, definitely try to get the fee waiver for your application, because I qualified for it and I applied to 4 UCs and 4 Cal States. I got into all my Cal States. I think I only got into 1 UC. I forgot which one. Yeah, I ended up going to Cal State LA, which was great because I lived 10 minutes from it. So it was down the street. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely do that. So that way you have more chances. And then I applied to SC, but they didn't. They were like, nah. So I was like, okay. But I'm actually glad I didn't go there because I would have left with like $45,000.
The tuition is so expensive.
Well, and then like, my thing is, look, I encourage students to apply wherever they want to go to. That's one. If you want to go there, great. I will help you try to get in there. I was like, but the reality of it is, and I have to tell them, is that you're going to be $45,000 in debt versus me. I got my bachelor's at Cal State and I left with $0 in debt. And like, so my bachelor's is going to look the same anywhere, right? Like, and especially when I get my master's, they're not going to care like what my bachelor's was. I mean, they will to some extent, but they're not going to care like, you know what I mean? And so what I would do is, if you do want to go to SC or if you do want to go to those high-end schools, like get your bachelor's somewhere where it's going to be cheap. You can get aid, you can get funds, you get minimal like student loans out of if you do Cal State, and then you could leave a Cal State LA with less than $5,000 in student debt, which is easily paid off, right? Like you can easily pay that off if you get a job and you save up and do all that stuff. But you have rent and all that stuff that people have to pay for. So, and then if you really want to get go to SC, like go for your grad program, right? Like I wouldn't necessarily encourage people to go into debt, but if there was any debt, I would like prefer it would be student loan debt, because it's like the lowest interest rate. You have so many years to pay it off, right? And like if you start working in the public sector, if you work for education, if you work for the city, if you work in anything, you can get all that like expunged and waived. So yeah, it's I'm for a master's program, that would be the thing that I would recommend people to do.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well for bachelor's in general. Like when COVID started, I was gonna go to a UC, but I was like, you know what, I'll probably just go to PCC to save money, especially because it's the bachelor's, it's all like online anyway, and want to spend like
well, and that's the smart thing to do, right? Like all these people and like these high school students that are like, no, I want to go to SC or SC and UCLA and all that stuff. I'm like, you're not going to get to enjoy your first year. Like you're not going to have that experience. And then you'll be a sophomore. You can't get into a frat. You can't get into sorority. You can't do all these things so like, why not just go to a community college, get your GEs out of the way, like don't waste your money at a UC, and then transfer and then maybe have that experience there. Like, I just don't like, the smart thing to do is just to save as much money as possible before you transfer to a 4-year, right? So you don't incur all that debt. I highly encourage students not to incur undergrad debt, because I did it. I left Cal State LA with $0 in debt, and it's the easiest thing to do. And then when I'm in like I said, so you did the smart thing. So good for you.
We need to normalize community college. I feel like it's like
Absolutely.
there's a bad stigma on it, but honestly, it's a fantastic option.
Right. And like I tell students all the time, I'm like, you're at PCC, you're at literally one of the top community colleges in California. Like you couldn't be in better hands, right? Like then when you transfer to a UC, a Cal State, or you go to a private, everything just seems easier. Like it was just so easy in my bachelor's to get like a 4.0. It was just easy because PCC is so rigorous and it's so it's so
Absolutely.
tough on its students, then you transfer and you're like, oh, this is easy. And then you realize that all the other people in your classes are kind of dumb. Yeah, it's great. It was a great experience for me. I just posted the scholarship flyer in Discord, so you all better apply. Like, I will be literally pissed because there's literally no reason why you shouldn't apply. Like, literally.
Oh, what's been happening here?
We've been talking about overthrowing the government.
Really, Jonathan? Again?
Yeah.
Okay. Jonathan, you and your
I'm
overthrowing
gonna
government.
install a monarchy in AS.
Well, we can see how that's working greatly in the UK right now, Jonathan.
Yeah, I'm gonna have squires. Billy can be my squire. He'll wear like those funny clown shoes too.
All right, everyone's here. Everyone's back. Okay, this is good. So I'll just look over the video later, Jordan. Yeah, and I'll kind of see what you've been talking about. But I'll reshare and we're gonna move on. So I think everyone's kind of trained. If you have any questions, just ask it in the Discord and like I'll get back to you within an hour, most likely, because I'm always on Discord. All right. So if there's no more questions on committee training, we're gonna move on to election publicity. Okay, hearing no discussion. We're gonna move on to election publicity, and this is gonna be a really short item. I just wanted to kind of talk about how we're most likely going to do like a giveaway on Instagram because with the TNA account, we can do gift cards because it's donated money. But I already talked with Carrie about it as well, and she was like very down for it because that's a good way to get followers. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it so we're gonna do like a giveaway where you can like at somebody, I guess mention it on Instagram. And if you have to add someone who's not following PCC, ASPCC, and then that's basically how you get eligible to do it. And then we're also thinking in terms of like we have a lot of swag. We call it swag, yeah, I know. We call it yeah, we have a lot of swag in the office right now, and I asked Carrie to send me an inventory of things. So if there's any things that are in there that we want to kind of get rid of as well, we're going to do the giveaway where it's like, oh, if you at 5 people, we're actually going to give you that. So that way that stuff is it's going to also circumvent public funds because they're actually doing like anybody can get it because we have like an abundance of that. So that's kind of what I'm planning for election publicity. I'm not sure when we're actually going to do it. So I'm not going to assign it to anybody because I'm just going to do it on my own most likely. So it's not too complicated in terms of like setting that up. So I just want everyone to look out for that. And elections are on like May 13th, but we want to make sure that it gets out to people who want to run first. So that's due by April 26th. So that's our timeline. April 26th is when people can run for certain positions. 13th is the elections, 13th and 14th. So I'm actually thinking of sending people out who are public relations people. So that's the secondary people as well. There's like, I think Zana is one of them. You're going to be going into classrooms, not like willy-nilly, but you're just going to be talking in a class and just be like, make it a short announcement like, hey, if you're interested in running, please run. And that's basically it in terms of what we're going to do there. So that's just the plan there. There's not really that much else on it. So it's a really short item. But if anyone has any suggestions or ideas, you can either do it now or leave it in Discord. And yeah.
You'll keep us updated with the info, right?
As for like you mean like what we're posting on social media?
Just for the election publicity, just like if we need to do something for it.
Oh yeah, you're right. So that I'll for sure basically send that out. So all you need to worry about is the assignments that you get. Like if you do want to understand a bit more of the timeline, I'll actually send that in the Discord. I made a cute graphic for it. No, I'm gonna show off the cute graphic. I'm gonna show it off for you. But I'll basically show you right now like what the timeline is so you can kind of understand like the time frame we're working in. Because like I said, this is one of the bigger projects that we were gonna do. So here's the graphic. I think some of you have already seen it actually, but basically geez, why did I say that? Applications are already open. Applications are due on the 26th. Oh, sorry, May 12th and 13th, not 13th, 14th. They messed me up. But Yeah, so we want to make sure that by this time, we're getting out the fact that you can run by this time. And then we want to get out the fact that you can vote by this time. So that's basically the time frame we're working on. And like I said, all you have to worry about is the assignments because I'll be assigning it every week. And yeah, that's basically it. Hi, Jordan.
Oh, I have a question.
Hi, yeah.
So what?
Yes, I recognize you, Jordan. You can speak.
So here's a funny thing. I didn't even know the applications were open. So that's a surprise to me. And if it's a surprise to me, it's probably even more of a surprise to students. So we need to get this out. Like, we need to blast this out. Like, we need to send it to Alex. We need to send it to David. They can put it in the email. We need to send it to everybody. Like, Pathway, we need to send it to Student Services. We need to send it to Ujima, Puente. I can help with that. I just need like a consolidated, like if we can get, and I know this isn't your job, so maybe this is wasted conversation, but I just need like an email with like all these things attached to it. And then I can write up a draft and send it to people that I know. So that way they can let people know, because that's great. I didn't even know applications were open. So that's wonderful. Also, we do have an elections website, Philly, that's currently hidden. But when the applicants are chosen, we can open it, and basically it'll have, I don't know if you saw last year's, but it'll have their picture, their biography, and then sort of like this sort, if you want to put this graphic on, we can definitely do that. And so whenever we're ready to kind of review that and edit it, we can just contact Michael Ehrig, and he can just edit everything. We can put everything in a Google Drive, he'll get it, take it, and put it on the website. So I just wanted to let you know that as well.
Yeah, I'm so sad we have spring break now. But because like since we're doing training right now, I didn't want to put too big of a project on people yet because like we need people to learn how to use Canva, which is really easy actually. Like they both said it's super easy, I think. So like for now we're just gonna do training there, and then I'll probably figure out like how we can best utilize everybody because public relations is definitely going to be useful. Reporters, I'm not sure if what they can do because right now I know Sophia's already kind of like up to date or up to speed on what she can do because she already did like a feature, but I'm trying to figure out. I guess we can talk about it right now since we're on the discussion. But as for like for Emily and Sophia, what do you think you can do in terms of elections? Like, do you want to interview the candidates? But I know that's kind of the courier's job, but I don't know if they're doing that. And also that's kind of conflict of interest because you're already in AS, and I'm one of the. Never mind. I didn't say anything. So you might like. What's a good way, Jordan? Do you think in terms of using interviews to kind of like publicize elections?
I was thinking like, I know Emily had an idea like you interview someone in Associated Students to bring attention to those positions already, like, oh, a student feature, someone in Associate Students, and you could apply for this position too, or something. Like, yeah, something like that. Does that?
So that was an idea that Carrie had brought up early on about AS members doing sort of like what their position entails, and then kind of making it sort of a promotion for the election season. I think it would just be nice in general if we make videos like that. And I know Philly, you were sort of, or they were sort of working on it last semester. I'm not sure if it ever got completed. But I think that would be a great way to kind of like advertise, elections. But yeah, so keep in mind, all of you, that there are specific rules with elections that we cannot, with certain things that we cannot say in a committee meeting, nor can we say sort of outside. And there's certain things that VPs and the president can do in regard to elections, because Philly's right. It's a very fine line between like feeling like you're meddling with the elections versus like just being like, hey, here's some information, go out and vote type thing. And so just keep that in mind as we talk about elections. I'll try to keep as much, the discussion succinct as possible. We can talk about elections all day out of committee meetings, and I can give you information if you want. But just keep in mind that specific things we can't really say or do within a committee meeting. Anyway, Philly, I think, what was your question? I'm sorry.
Because if we're gonna put like, because we're probably gonna put like student features on hold while we're working on like publicity for elections. So I'm trying to figure out how we can actually not have Sophie and Emily like, I mean, they can do backup stuff in terms of like, oh, we'll post this in 2 months. But I'm trying to figure out if there's any way we can do interviews without having it conflict too much with like the fact that they're already in AS and they might know the person they're interviewing. But there's like, I guess there's a lot of options. So
Are you just talking about interviews for people that want to run or for people to give information on what it's like being an AS?
I'll actually contact the Courier's EIC right now. Well, not right now, actually later. Because I need to figure out what they're doing in terms of their publicity, because we don't really want to butt into their stuff where they're like interviewing the same person that we are. Because I hope they're doing election coverage because they're kind of the newspaper, right? So yeah. I'll talk to them.
Yeah, I would just see what they're planning on doing. If they're not really planning on doing anything, then I think you can sort of take the reins and in this committee and sort of like set that tone. Normally we don't really do that type of interviews. Usually we save that for the forums, the candidate forums. We usually save like Philly will go and say, this is what publicity is like. This is what my job entails, all that stuff. But that's after, you know, applications are due. And so before applications are due, it's kind of like a brief timeline. And we do lose that week that we have for spring break. So I think we should just focus on one sort of instance of elections and do it that way because we don't have that much time.
Yeah, that's why I'm so sad it's spring break. Because we're basically just gonna finish up training this week. Hopefully, I think everyone will be prepared to like take on like actual projects. But in terms of like the introducing stuff, I actually did this like a few months back, but it wasn't like directly related to elections. So but the thing is, I'm not sure if people will refer to this when they're like running for stuff, like, hey, it's me. But like, because then it'd be kind of redundant to do the same thing where we're introducing the position again, even though we've already had it. So I might make so what you can do on Instagram is you can make guides. So I might actually just repost that. So I can put all of these into guides, and I actually deleted it. I shouldn't have done that. But we can do that and push that somehow. And then the reporters can most likely just interview people already in AS that aren't going to run next year. Because we're actually doing a president's roundtable on like April. It's like the Friday before elections or election applications are actually due. I think it's the 23rd. That's a Friday. Like Mackenzie is actually going to talk about her experience in AS. So that's something we can think about. And I'll think about that over the weekend because right now everyone already has their assignments, and over spring break we're going to have an entire week to kind of think about things. So we'll just, I guess, table it until everyone's trained, and then we can start focusing again on what we can really do. So
also too, Philly, just keep in mind if someone is transferring, then it's easier to do an interview that way because they have no bid or no interest in elections. So if like Mackenzie's transferring, great, you can do an interview with her, you can post it, do whatever you want. So just keep that in mind as well.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll leave that on the back burner. That's the right word to use. So that can be kind of like on people's minds, like if maybe you're at spring break, you're in Tahiti or like Cancun or something, you're just like, oh, we could do this. Put it in Discord. We have like a chat for that, and then that can be like something that we can think about when we come back next week. So now we're gonna move on to work assignments if there's nothing else to talk about for election publicity. Okay, now we're gonna move on to work assignments. So this is the big meat. Not as big as the training, but this is like very meaty in terms of like you finally will learn what you're doing. So I'm not sure what Jordan talked to Sean about, but I'm going to move on to the Trello right now. Can everyone see the Trello? Oh, no, it works most of the time. All right.
Do a reshare or share a different screen.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Now you can see it. Okay, so I was working on this over the weekend, and the things that I do want to explain are, now we have these cards up here, where it says like available for assignment, available for design, available to post, available for promotion. So that's the first thing I'm gonna explain is all the people in here are the people that that are going to be assigned in this section. So like, for example, only the graphic designers are going to be available to design. So if you're Jimmy or if you're Zana in here, like this is where you get your assignments. Jonathan and Jericho are here usually. This is when we have like an event. Like for example, we have this and we have the graphic, we've posted it already and we just want to promote it. We put it there. But before we go on, actually, I'm just going to explain do you guys want to like learn what you're going to do this week first, or do you want to learn how the process works, like the workflow?
Maybe like how the process works and then our assignment.
Okay. So like, for example, this is actually something that did come in. So I'm just going to share my full screen now, later, actually. So what I'm going to show you right now is I'm going to show you the publicity request form. So if you're a graphic designer or if you're a social media person, this is something that you will need to think about. So it's in the workspaces, publicity request form, and it's right here. So let's say you're a graphic designer, right? You'd go to the responses and get all of the information here to make your graphic. So that's basically what graphic designers do. And I'm gonna switch back to the Trello. It shows it. It doesn't. Okay. So now that we're on the Trello, basically this is the Mother's Day appreciation thing. So as you can see here, it's the Mother's Day appreciation. So what I do is I'm gonna assign you on the Trello every Monday, not next Monday, obviously. Every Monday, it's gonna pop up in here. So they got assigned to do a graphic on this, and the way that it's gonna work is that once they're done with the graphic, all you have to do is click the check mark and just say, okay, I'm done. And the due date is also here. So it might be complicated. Like I said, this is what we're doing training right now, but just basically finish the graphic by 6 p.m. and the graphic designers are going to upload it into the Google Drive. And at this due date, I'm going to check over it later like the day after maybe, or the day of. And then I'm going to say, okay, this is okay. This is ready. This graphic is good to go. And once the graphic is good to go, next Monday, like for example, if you're Jacqueline or Tabitha, you're going to see this here. And that just means that the graphic is ready to post and that you can like find it in the Google Drive, for example. And all you have to do is you're going to have to write the post caption. That's like your responsibility as well. And this is where you get all the information. Like, for example, there's a brief event description. There is who benefits from it. There is what activities are planned. And this is all stuff that goes into writing the post caption for social media managers. Like, for example, you could say, hey, Lancers, are you someone who wants to celebrate your mother figure? We're going to do card making and origami. And that's stuff that doesn't get included in the graphic. So that's kind of where the social media manager takes over for post writing. Or like, oh, socialize with other people while you make gifts for loved ones. And this is why we have these questions. So it helps you for that. And there's a format that you kind of learn. So for example, right here, hey, Lancers, interested in law or considering law school. So that's the stuff that the social media manager manages. And yeah, and then once they're done with that, by the due date, I'm gonna all you have to do is save it as a draft. So this is basically pertaining to Jacqueline only. Just save it as a draft, and I'm gonna check over the writing. And then after that, I'll just do any edits, and I'll say, okay, you can check over the draft. You can see the changes I made, and then you can post it on the day, on whatever day on the day that we kind of assign. So obviously, all of this stuff isn't streamlined fully, but we'll figure it out as we go.
How do you save it? How do you save it as a draft?
It's like you like press the back arrow, and then it just says save as draft ? And then you just save it as a draft like that. So you'll kind of see it. Yeah. And then after that, basically, you're done with that. And then it's ready to post. You post it. And then the next Monday, so this is why like I've basically yelled, I haven't yelled yet, But I yelled at the executive board. I'm like, if you don't send in something 3 weeks before, I'm not gonna do it because like this is how the committee is gonna be working, right? So the third Monday, we're gonna be like, okay, it's posted. Can you please publicize this before the event? And then so they'd go and reach out. Like for example, you could reach out to child development teachers or something or professors, right? And just be like, hey, can you really promote this? Like this would probably pertain like to people who are, I don't know, interested in appreciating their mother, I guess. So like that'll be there, and that's basically the workflow. And then once they're done with that, they'll be like, okay, we're done. And I'll just be like, wow, cool, and then we'll archive it, and that's it. That's basically how the thing goes through the process. And then now I think you'll kind of learn that. You can rewatch the video if you want to, if you need more help, or if you're confused, just talk in the Discord. But now we're actually going to move on to like actual assignments. So we're going to start with like the reporters. So I told them to hold off on any people they wanted to interview because it's going to be a twist, right? So I'm actually going to make them interview someone in their household first so they can practice their interviewing skills. And so I put some main goals. Like you're going to practice the questions, they're going to practice the interview structure. And here's like a to-do list to just help them. Like you can check mark it if you want. It's really just for you. And I want Jacqueline, Tabitha, Sophia, and Emily to read the writing style guide because that really will help you in terms of getting like the style down. Like instead of saying financial aid assistance programs are available, or you could instead, the PCC way of writing it is, are you in financial need? You can utilize this resource. Like you can tell the difference already in terms of how PCC writes their stuff. So that's basically what you're gonna do, interview someone in your house by April 9th, which is this Friday. And for Sean, I'm gonna I sent the link here. I want you to go to the Office of Institutional Effectiveness website, and they have like a lot of research data there. But I want you to check the equity dashboard first, and then there's like extra credit if you want for next week. But the whole point of this is that the equity dashboard talks about like the students that are at PCC. So I want you to check that first because if we're going to be publicizing events or resources, we want to make sure that those resources are actually useful for like the majority in terms of who we serve as an institution. So that's what I want to leave you off with. And you can like make a Google Doc, but the Monday that we come back from spring break, just report back with like 5 interesting takeaways. Like, oh, I didn't know that we have 5% non-traditional students. It's probably a lot more than that. But like stuff like that, where that's going to be interesting for people to like kind of know about and keep in mind when they're publicizing stuff. For publicity, this is something like along the lines of practicing too. I want you to go to office hours, either a professor or an AS member. So AS has office hours here, and so you can check that out. Or you can go to your professor's office hours. This is like honor code though, because I'm not going to check this. I just want you to practice being able to reach out to somebody and like starting a relationship, parentheses, non-romantic, don't, yeah. So extra credit, you can meet a professor that like we might want to contact in the future. So you could like go to, if you have like a poli-sci professor and you could just be like, oh, we might contact them in the future. I'm going to start now and getting to know them. So that's extra credit. But the point is just go to someone's office hours and like practice that. And then I also have another assignment for you. And this is something you already kind of do or have done, but this is an actual like assignment that you need to do. So that way we can start publicizing the week that we come back. So that's basically it. Jimmy and Zana, they're just gonna be doing the graphic by this Friday. And Mother's Day is on like in May. So that's why it's so early and I'm not gonna make it that short notice. I'm gonna send a graphic to Jacqueline and Tabitha, and then Jacqueline will post this graphic and write up the caption because I'm gonna send a publicity request. I'm gonna send the info to the publicity request form, so you can just check that. So that's basically it for everybody. I'm just gonna be adding you to the card so that way you get notifications. So this might take a while and might be awkward, so you can talk while I'm adding everyone to their cards.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo what Philly said. everybody should meet with their professors at least once per semester. And this isn't just at PCC. This is when you get to your upper division school as well. That is literally the easiest way to pass your class. I'm not saying you get any favors, but at the end of the semester, if you're borderline a B to an A, seeing them and asking them clarifying questions, getting clarifying hints or tips on your essays or assignments, it really, really helps. And you may be able to connect with them in a way where they can help you in your graduate program, or if you're going to be in a PhD program or MD program. You never know what kind of help they might offer you. So please go see your professors. It's not that hard. If you're having difficulty seeing one, please let me know so I can contact them, and we can make this easier.
Okay, I just forgot something, and Jimmy didn't remind me. But just so everyone knows, in terms of the social media managers, I've kind of delegated it where Jacqueline is the main person to go to in terms of posting stuff, and then Tabitha is more of like the person who's helping with ideas right now because like as she kind of learns a bit more about it, then you can move into an actual kind of role. But for now, we're just kind of like doing ideas. Like for example, if Tabitha wants to get into like analytics, or just like in general, kind of see like how Jacqueline does it as well. Just want to keep that in mind as well because I'm gonna be sending the account info to just one person, so that's like if you want to have something posted, just go to Jacqueline. Just want to keep that. Just wanted to remind everyone that. There's also something else I was gonna do. I forgot. All right, I was gonna send you the account info. That's basically it, though. You know, how about we move on to the next discussion item so we're not like waiting. Dude, this live transcript is getting in the way, but all right. So that's it for work assignments. If you're confused about what you need to do by that due date, just let me know in the Discord. So now we're gonna move on to future appointment. If there's no more discussion. All right. So hi Jordan. We're gonna need your help again, but now finally that we're kind of getting more comfortable into our roles, I need to figure out how we're gonna appoint people because this is also kind of it. But we also might need a vice chair and secretary, like that's mandatory in the Constitution. So we have to consider that as well. But I don't know how that's gonna work in terms of like if we're gonna title someone something, but they're also vice chair, so that might be. We'll figure it out. Hi Jordan. What? You're like
I was just going to say, you can leave your committee names as they are, and then you don't need to put that like Jonathan Apodaca right here instead of committee member is the, whatever position he is. You don't have to do that. He can just be a regular committee member, but on the committee, he's responsible for this job, right? You can just keep it that way. So usually for vice chair and secretary, people need to express interest. So usually that's like an email to Philly, just expressing your interest and why you want to be vice chair or secretary. And then Philly will bring it to our next meeting and then we can vote on it then if you want. It'll be an action item. That would be the easiest way to do it.
yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, vice chair basically just does all the responsibilities if I pass out or something and I can't make it. And I forgot what else they do. I guess they do roll call. Or is that secretary? Okay.
Yeah. So vice chair is basically like Philly's right-hand person. If Philly needs them to do something where he is busy or he can't do it, like create the agenda or post the agenda on time, email the whole committee when the next meeting is, then you'll be responsible for that. If Philly can't make a meeting because he is having a severe reaction to the vaccine, then they would be responsible for running the meeting and stuff like that. So vice chair is pretty an important position. And then obviously secretary is responsible for minutes, getting the minutes to Philly so that way he can get them out so they can get approved. And then making sure that everything is well documented. So that way if any members of the public request, a public records request, I forgot what it's called, then they'll all be ready and available there. So.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, it's not too mandatory right now. It's pretty manageable, but I'll just leave that up there. But I'm still considering like actually giving people titles because I know it's possible, right, Jordan? It's just like in our committee, I just feel like I just want to title people so it's easier instead of like we're all committee members.
I mean, it's up to you. It's your committee.
Yeah, because I mean I know you've had experience in the past, so I'm just gonna once we finalize stuff, I probably will do the titles then. Just because we're a special committee, not like a special committee, but like we're like not like the other committees, Jordan.
Right. You're not like a regular committee. You're a cool committee.
Yeah.
I think what you can do is you can also put like, if, for example, you can say Sophia Enger, vice chair / whatever her position is, or whatever her position is / vice chair. You can do that as well.
Okay, that sounds good. And then we put that as an action item if you're doing voting, and then also for any other positions. Okay, I'm gonna assume I can hopefully do it in like one action.
Just for the vice chair and secretary. That's all you have to vote for. Everything else is just appointed and done by you.
Oh, okay, so I don't have to mention it. I'll just put it on the.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll figure that out over spring break when people kind of are more trained and know what they really want to do, and we can kind of like finalize that. So that's pretty much it for a future appointment. If you are interested in like, I don't know, doing stuff if I'm not available, I guess you can vice chair. You want to help with minutes? You can be a secretary. Yeah. So just email me like Jordan said. So that's it for a future appointment. If there's no more discussion, we're gonna move on to public comment. Okay, hearing none. Is there any public comment? All right, I don't think there's any public comment. So we're gonna move on to advisors' comments. Jordan, please.
Good job, y'all. Good talk. And make sure I put the flea market scholarship flyer in the Discord. So click on it if you want to download it. That has the link on there as well. For those of you that want it, please apply. It literally, I was just telling some of the gentlemen, it is literally the easiest way to earn free money. So please apply. It's going to take you maybe an hour to apply for everything if you need to write something, do all that stuff. But please do that ASAP. And that's it.
All right. Thank you for that, Jordan. Oh, yes, Sophia.
Okay, Jordan, you mentioned that you can reach our professors if we haven't been able to reach them.
Yeah, so sometimes it just give me the professor's name and I can contact either that professor and like CC the dean of that department, because like it's been difficult for some students to get in contact with their professors. And so if you're having trouble, please let me know so that way I can contact them and see if we can get something going. But send me an email. If my email's in the chat, just send me an email so that way I'm aware of it and then we can see what we can do.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for that, Sophia. Now we are going to move on to announcements. Is there anything that anyone would like to announce? What announcements does everyone have? Okay, hearing none. We're going to move on to future meeting dates and times. I may have, I don't know, I put April 12th. So Jordan, do we really have to reconsider the motion, or is that, Okay, Jordan's gone. All right, we'll just
Sorry, what happened?
Oh, I put April 12th and we're not meeting on April 12th. So do we have to reconsider the motion, or can I just,
No, you're fine. It's just, that's just wait, what are we be considering? Sorry.
We're reconsidering future meeting date and time and put it wrong. It's
okay.
like formalities. I don't know. I'm just gonna
state right now what you need it changed to, and then just change it. I mean, don't change it now, but okay. All right.
Oh, okay.
You're
well,
fine. You're
you
fine.
didn't see that.
You're fine.
I didn't record it. All right. Okay. So future meeting dates and times, April 19th. If there's anything you'd like, please send it in by April 12th. And now we're gonna move on to adjournment right on time at 11:30. I'd like to entertain the motion of adjourning.
So moved.
I second that.
All right, moved by Jonathan, seconded by Sophia. And we have now officially adjourned 11:30 right on the dot. All right, thank you. Thank you everyone
Night.
for coming.
Night.
Wow. Hey, Philly, can you do me a huge favor? Can you send me any graphics? Oh, that's gonna be great. It cuts off right as I was talking. Love it. It's like The Sopranos when it like cuts off mid-sentence and it was just like blah. Can you send me any graphics you have in regard to elections so I can write an email and send it out to everybody, because that literally has not been publicized at all. And we need to get it out like now. Doesn't have to be today, but before Wednesday, I would say, just please send me whatever you have so that way I can just send it out and it gets out so we can get it as publicized as possible. We also need to get on it on our Instagram, and then I'm gonna have to see if I can work on the OSL website to put a link. Is there a link to the application? Like, do they need to fill out a paper one? See, these are all questions I should have asked before, but I didn't know. So do you know?
Oh, right. I remember Carrie asking me, but I feel like I've been reminded. So yeah, basically you go on Lance for Life and you fill out a form, and then
Okay.
I was supposed to do a graphic for that, but I forgot, even though Carrie asked me. But I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna ask anybody else to do it, so it's not like too complicated. But everyone has their assignments. That'll be the thing I'll do.
Just send me whatever you have. And then if you need me to do something, I can create one as well, or create something. I just need to get as much information out as possible so that way students know to apply, because not everybody and not all students are on Lancer Life. So yeah. Anyway.
All right, you should send me an email in case I forget. I'm gonna write it all down.
Do you want me to send you an email right now?
Oh yeah, I'll just check it later. Yeah, cause I'm trying to think of election publicity, other than the giveaway, because I want to do a giveaway first. But obviously, if that doesn't happen, because it's like too complicated, then it's better just to have the publicity out first. So. Okay, finally turned out the transcript. Anyways, Sean, how was your first meeting?
It was good. Yeah, it was a good discussion with Jordan, and I'm looking forward to starting.
Wow, okay, that's great. I don't know, is everyone happy with their assignments? I feel like, isn't it fun, Jimmy, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to start working.
Philly, I don't know about interviewing my, family members. I'm gonna interview my brother.
Hey, see, that's what you gotta do. You gotta reach out,
I guess I'll interview my brother. I'll go get him.
Yeah. Also Tabitha and Jacqueline, I wasn't able to ask what kind of did you? Oh yeah, because I don't have it recorded, so you should probably tell me actually. But how was the breakout room? What did you kind of discuss?
It was good. We went over kind of my role and what Tabitha will be helping me with, and just kind of giving her tips and tricks of social media. So are we that assignment that you put on April 7th?
April 7th.
You said I was just checking that, or am I?
So basically, oh, sorry, you can continue.
No, go ahead.
So basically that's actually on Friday. So I'm gonna send in a publicity request form. So just at least just talk on Discord, because I need to finish up the graphic, and then I'm gonna send the publicity request form. And just oh, Jacqueline, can you post this?
Okay.
And so that'll be kind of your practice in terms of posting your first thing. I know you already posted, but I guess it's more practice on writing the caption in our style.
Yeah.
So that's basically it. You can read the other posts. Like we have like I put an emoji before every hey Lancers. So like, you know, wow, you could do that too as well.
So it was you posting like before?
Yeah, so if you look on the social media, pretty much everything there was posted by me or designed by me and written by me. That's why I needed a committee because I need to like, you know, we can do more than just like event stuff. So that's, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, our meeting went very well.
Alright. Yeah, because I was like, I don't want, I feel like Tabitha might feel left out. I'm just like, because then you don't get to post stuff. I'm like, oh no. So you're kind of like the idea person right now, Tabitha. It's like ways that we can like expand on social media. I was actually gonna assign Tabitha to research the other ASs. I don't know if that's didn't want to. That was kind of seemed kind of like busy work. But like I looked over every other AS Instagram that I could find, like UCLA. Okay, UCLA is not the only one. SDSU, Grand Canyon maybe. No, what Grand Canyon? Sorry. But yeah, I was trying to see it, and I'm gonna tell you, I think our social media is kind of better than theirs. Maybe not the UCLA one. UCLA one's way too good. But yeah, so you can kind of just go off of what we have so far. Or like actually yeah, Tabitha, now I think about it, like there's a lot of cool stuff too, like guides, Instagram TV, I guess. Reels. There's also like analytics as well. There's also sorry, everyone's looking at me. I'm just like, yo, I'm sorry, this is unrelated to you. But yeah, there's like a lot of Instagram stuff that people don't typically use that we can kind of explore. We have the budget for it, and our budget's probably gonna get cut next year, so we better use it.
Hey Philly, okay, I have a lot of work to do. Is there anything else you need from me before I go?
No, so I'm just gonna send you the graphics. You can send me the reminder email and I'll send you all the election stuff.
I just did. So I just
Okay.
sent you an email. Send it to me whenever, but I would prefer it by Wednesday because I need to give programs and staff and admins time to send it out to students before spring break so they can maybe apply during spring break or the week after. So just by Wednesday would be awesome. If not, it's not a big deal. Don't kill yourself if you're not feeling good. Don't worry about
Oh
it.
right, yeah. I got the trying to show it. This is
Wow, you're
this is
scarred.
awkward. They gave me a bandage this time. The
You're bad.
first nurse was I was like, do I get like a bandage or something? She's like, well, are you bleeding? I'm like, well, I just want a bandage, you know?
Where did
Looks
you
cool.
go?
What?
Where did
Oh.
you go?
I went to do you see it?
No.
Okay, it's skin colored. Never mind.
Wait,
I went
where
to,
did you
Cal.
go?
Huh? What?
What place did you go to get it?
I went to Cal Poly Pomona. It's like the best place.
Well, and they didn't give you a bandage?
Well,
Really, when I
the
went
first-
the same day as you, they gave me a band-aid.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, can I get a band-aid like everyone else? You know, that'd be cool.
I didn't get a bandage my first time either. They were like, "Oh, you're not bleeding. It's okay."
Well, I got a bandage twice, but you know what? Mine was through because of my work and what I do, and then it was mostly a bunch of elderly individuals, and so that's probably why they were like, but it was also nursing students at APU, so they were learning how to treat patients, and so that was probably why.